Speaking on her recent visit to France, Agriculture Minister Ambrine Lingdor today said that the delegation comprising of farmers, winemakers and officials of NESFAS that attended a meet at Grenoble, France were exposed to good farming practice, marketing and product design to meet market expectations.
My recent trip to France was a trip where we actually engaged actively with partners in the farming sector. The government of France, through the External Affairs Ministry, has allowed for the participation of the state of Meghalaya in the Grenoble Mart, where our farmers were taken along with us. We had 2 weavers, 2 winemakers, 2 members representing the farmers' groups. We also had a person representing us from, the climate change aspect of farming practices from NESFAS. And these members who went along with me to France were truly exposed to some very good practices. The Grenoble meet was a meet where we were able to also communicate efficiently with first world countries which are doing very well in engaging in farming practices that were going to be taking into consideration climate change. So it was also linked to climate change. And this meeting in Grenoble has given our farmers a true exposure. They were able to understand marketing. They were able to understand how do you design products, how do you also design the packaging of products, how do we sell these products, where do we get our buyers, who are these buyers, what are the kinds of expectation that foreign buyers have from our markets. For example, the number one point that was being asked constantly in the Grenoble meet was, are your products organic? That's the first thing that was asked. So therefore, this immediate interaction of our farmers with them gave them a clear indicator that yes, in order to be able to achieve international standards, these are the things that you have to do. How do you package your products? How do you collaborate with clusters? Because farming in the state of Meghalaya is done in individual lands, individual farmers. Now it's all small scale farming. How do we ensure that farmers understand the concept of having a cluster approach? Because if individual farmers come forward to package their goods and materials, it's going to be very difficult for them to meet the market expectations. They have to clear so many lines of expectations. For example, how efficiently have you done your work? How good are you with your marketing? Are you getting enough in your returns? Are you having a good return in terms of profit? Is it a profitable, engaged marketing practice, farming practice? So now all of this we've brought back to the state, and these will be our ambassadors who will go forward and explain to their other farmer friends that this is something that we have to do. Are you also making sure that your quality control is there? Are you making sure that your shelf life of products and produces met? Have you undertaken the most profitable lines of packaging of your produce? Are you doing the right thing? So this is something which, if we do at a regular time period, will be good for farmers. After all, the state of Meghalaya is predominantly agrarian. And because we are an agricultural practicing state and people, we have to encourage our farmers that you can always have a good farming practice. There is a misconception in the public that we have to leave our farming practices because it's not profitable. But then again, can we afford that? Does the government have the wherewithal to ensure that all of these who leave their farming practices and get into new practices, will they sustain themselves? Will it yield good results? So all of this was something that we discussed. We also discussed a lot of other things related to marketing, to packaging. We also discussed, other things like how does your urban city look like? Are you going to have more spaces for agriculturing practices to ensure that the pollution and other things also do not play a part and add to the spoil of products? So this was all something that was very well, well done, and we had a fantastic exposure, and I think that this was a well worth journey that we took.